Good morning, guys. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. So today is December 30th, I do believe. I figured this video would be kind of an update video since I haven't made one in a couple months, along with going ahead and just doing a 2020 year-end review of how trucking was for me in 2020. I'm gonna go ahead and turn these windshield wipers off. Keep from making all that noise in the background. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but I'm up here in I just crossed Snoqualmie Pass yesterday before I parked, and then I parked down there at North Bend, so I'd be clear of all that snow. But luckily I didn't have to deal with any of that this morning. I just woke up, drove an extra 10 miles to my first stop, and now we're just waiting around for hopefully 8 o'clock when they get in. I don't have any times on the business, and their phones are off right now. I know the store hours are like 10 to 6 or something like that, so hopefully I don't have to wait that long, because it's my very first stop. I don't know why they put it like that, if that would be the case. So I started 2020 off strong. I thought it was going to be a record year for me, but you know, I've only been trucking for 2.5 years as an owner-operator, so the first year obviously is going to be my lowest year, because I've only got about 4 months in it. I think I made like 70,000 gross. Last year I did pretty good, and this year, when I was looking at compared to, you know, last year, in January and February I was killing it, and you know, it was setting me up to have a record year. But then again, January and February I was up here in Washington doing all the local runs, so you know, I thought if I kept that momentum throughout the year, it would let me reach new highs. So I started the year off 2020 with my International and my Peterbilt. Obviously the Peterbilt had just broke down, I think in October, so it wasn't doing anything. I was still driving the International, but at the end of last year, I think it was December 23rd, is when I bought my Freightliner, which I didn't get it on the road until mid-January. So I'm coming up on a year on that. And then, you know, mid-January I've got 3 trucks. I've got 2 sitting around. I had thought about hiring an extra driver, but you know, that can also be a real headache, so you know, I was kind of hesitant. In my mind, as long as I could make the payments, I was good, and then you know, everything on top of that is just going to pay off all my debt. So then here comes March, and everybody knows what happened in March. Pretty much everything shut down. I ended up, instead of doing furniture like I normally do, I ended up, you know, going up to Maine with a load of beer, and you know, going down to Louisiana and Texas with some freezer stuff, and then headed up to Washington State from there, and down to Atlanta, and you know, I was going all over the place. And for those 2 months, I would say roughly 2 months, you know, every now and then they'd have a load of furniture for me to take, but it wasn't very often. So in those 2 months, I was pretty much, I was in the hole about $500 a month. That, you know, what was coming out of my savings account, not actually coming in, which doing this allowed me to stay ahead. And luckily, like I tell all you guys, it's important to have that rainy day fund, or that maintenance fund, that, you know, whatever you want to call it. Put so much money in it, make sure you can pay your bills, make sure you can live off of it if your truck's in the shop. So I only had to take a little bit out of my savings then, and you know, I just kept pushing. Before too long, furniture was back going. You know, there was a rough patch. You know, I wasn't getting dispatched as often. You know, sometimes I'd have to wait like 5 or 6 days, but then again, you know, it's more home time. And then, you know, it started picking up. We've got the emergency food exemption that kind of helped out with the produce side of things on my backhaul. So I had all that working for me. And then I believe it was September, I went ahead and made the step to go ahead and buy my own trailer, which I haven't made a video on that yet. I will, but unfortunately I can't do it right now because it's in the shop where it got hit by another driver that is also leased onto my company, and how he hit it was like right on the reefer unit. So it's in the shop right now getting worked on. Hopefully insurance covers it all and I don't have any problems there. As that's going on, at the end of October, I went ahead and hired somebody, kind of as like a lease purchase. I pretty much paid him a smaller salary than, you know, most over-the-road truck drivers get, but in return, all the money that his truck made, I'm keeping in a separate account. Once it hits the sell price of the truck that me and him agreed upon, then I'm just going to give him the title outright. So he's been at that since end of October. I think it was October like 29th was his first day leaving. So it's been about two months now, 2.5 months. And good news is he's almost got it paid off. The truck's running good, knock on wood, you know, my luck. So everything seems to be going good on that part. And then it's coming up to the end of the year. It looks like I may be a little shy of what I made last year, just off of my truck's income. But I guess we won't see until, you know, the 1099s come in, or the final settlements come in. But it looks like I may be like $2,000 or $3,000 short. Some of that is probably due to, you know, the pandemic. But I also, it's hard to put it in perspective. I don't know how many days, right off the top of my head, I have to go back in my calendar and look it up, you know, because tax purposes, you need to know how many days you're actually on the road for your per diem to be taken off your income. So I don't know how much I've actually worked this year. I feel like I've taken more time off, but we'll see when we do the numbers. But overall, 2020 hasn't been that bad for me. It's been a little stressful because I've got 3 trucks, but I knew what I was getting myself into when I bought this brand new truck for this year. I'm hoping those tax write-offs for the cost of this truck, you know, does me some good on taxes this year. Also, about the same time in October, I started trying to push harder to get out of debt. So that's kind of been challenging. You know, everything pops up. I had like an unexpected $5,000 charge. I've had some electrical charges for my mobile homes. My mobile homes has actually did pretty good this year. Not too many hiccups, but you know, it is a mobile home park. It's rental properties. You're always going to have something going on. But we've been working on one of those units, getting it fixed up, and you know, just updating everything, like all the way down to the insulation, the wiring, all that. So I'm pretty excited to get somebody in there. I think it's going to turn out pretty good. We're right at the finish line with that. And I also sold the International, so I should be getting rid of both of those debts and the insurance I was carrying on both of them, which is going to free up about $2,500 to $3,000 extra dollars a month that I'm not paying in that. So I'm really fortunate on that, and I do think they were both really, you know, nice trucks. I feel like I maintained them properly. I feel like if something was wrong with them, I'd pay to get them fixed. You know, a lot of people would just clear the codes and sell the truck, but I know there is an issue with the International, which when I parked it in January, it had the NOx sensor code reading. So I went ahead and paid somebody to have that fixed as soon as I parked it. But now that the guy's driving it again, or actually right when we cranked it up to take it over to his place, I put new batteries in for him. I went ahead and got him a fresh oil change and fuel filter change. And for some reason, the NOx sensor light is still on. So we got to figure that out first. And then, you know, I'm going to be free and clear of that. He's thinking about buying my APU off of me, and if he does that, then that means I'm going to have to find another APU to put onto this truck, because my initial plans was to take that one off and put it on. But if y'all have dealt with APUs, y'all know the you know, the cost of that. So I've got to figure out what I'm going to do there for an APU, because I definitely don't like idling the truck. But I know with these pre-emissions trucks, it's probably a little better on it to idle, and, you know, just make sure you idle high for you know, proper oil pressure and all that. But although my truck didn't make as much income, you know, like I said, probably $2,000 to $4,000 difference. It's going to show I probably made a little more this year. One, with the mobile homes, and two, with the sale of the other two trucks. And that's about it. I've also got into another little thing. I started buying more tools. I'll actually do a video on that. I carry a lot more tools in my truck than I used to. So I've got, you know, like an impact gun and drills. I've got, you know, I've got that Pittsburgh toolkit I carry on me, that 300-piece toolkit, which I think a lot of that's redundant. So I've got to figure out a way to make my own that should be a little lighter than that, and you know, maybe put it in a bag and just slide it under my bunk. But I need to figure that out. I've also I'm going to do a video, a year review on the Freightliner Coronado. You should expect that pretty soon. I'm going to list everything that's you know, I've had to get replaced, what I'm happy with, what I'm not happy with, and just kind of go from there. And, you know, in case y'all are wanting to buy a Coronado, kind of, you know, y'all can weigh the pros and cons for yourselves. I'm just going to give you my personal opinion of how I like this truck and how it's been doing for me over the last year, which I think today I have 129,168 miles on it. So by the time I get back home, you know, it'll be another 131,000, and, you know, it'll be time for another oil change and everything. But like I said, that's for another video. This is just a quick down and dirty of how 2020 went for me. And if there's any other videos you have in mind that you want to see me do, or if you have any questions, I'm thinking about going through my comments and picking out 10 to 15 questions and doing kind of like a Q&A video as well. So if you have any ideas of what you want to see, or what you're looking for, just let me know in the comments and we can get on that. But that's going to be it for this video. Thanks for watching, and have a good day.